During the month of March, Culinary Corner held a recipe contest called Delicious and Nutritious, sponsored by the UND Alumni Association Foundation, as well as the Nutrition and Dietetics Department. Out of all the recipe submissions, a few nutrition and dietetics students picked the top 3 based off of the grocery cost, nutrient value, as well as the ease of making the recipe. I have a few winners here today who are going to make their recipe on camera, and I'm substituting for the 3rd place winner, which is Alec Haugen, and her recipe was a honey cashew salmon. 2nd place went to Rupa with a savory pancake, and 1st place went to Nancy with a crustless vegetable mini quiche. So let's get started.
My name is Nancy Vinden. I'm a 1973 UND graduate. I've been married almost 42 years. I have a grown son and daughter and 3 grandchildren. Cooking and baking are one of my hobbies, and in 2011 I started coming to classes at Culinary Corner, and I've learned to enjoy many new foods and tastes. And the competitive nature in me made me want to enter the recipe contest, and a crustless vegetable mini quiche is the dish I'll be preparing tonight. You'll want to take a mini muffin pan and spray it with cooking spray and preheat your oven to 400. And the first ingredient is 4 eggs, and you just take and crack them into the bowl. 2 tablespoons of water, and you take and whisk the eggs. Just take and cut them into thin strips. Take the loose spinach and you stuff in for 1 cup. 1/4 lemon pepper, 1 teaspoon. And you can use either fresh onion flakes, or onion powder. 1/3 cup cheese, and now we'll give it a whisk. To 15 minutes. You can either eat them hot with the salsa, you can eat them cold, you can use them as an appetizer, and they do microwave well if there are any leftovers.
If you were to make Nancy's quiche in a mini muffin tin, each little bite would give 35 calories, 3 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, as well as 2 grams of fat.
Hello everyone, my name is Rupa, and I'm a PT by profession, currently a yoga instructor here at the UND Wellness Center. So when I heard about the Nutritious and Delicious contest, I was just interested to try my hand at this, because right from being a kid I was always interested in cooking. Not that I practically did any cooking, but I always assisted my mother in the kitchen. And as I grew up and entered into the PT profession, I was amazed by one of the definitions of nutrition which I had in my undergraduate program, which says that nutrition is food at work in our body at all stages of life. And I think I truly agree with the definition, and that's the reason I'm here today, to talk about nutrition and my recipe. So my recipe for today is a savory pancake, and being a vegetarian myself, I have all vegetarian ingredients in this. So I have the black bean, I have the chickpea or the garbanzo bean, the white lima beans, and red kidney beans. And for the whole grain, I have used the brown basmati rice and whole barley grains. About 3 cups of your bean mixture and 1.5 cup of your whole grain mixture. I'm going to be using ginger, which is the important ingredient, so maybe a 1/2 inch of ginger piece. And for the spiciness, we have the serrano peppers. Take the mixture together. Do not add salt to it, and soak it up for about 30 to 40 minutes. Add chopped cilantro leaves. You're going to put everything together with the right amount of salt in a food processor, and the paste that you get looks something like this. Before you start making those pancakes, you want to make sure that you spray your griddle, maybe with an olive oil spray or a butter spray. So start pouring your batter. So just spread it a little, and you want to have a small hole at the center because it's a lentil pancake, so you want it to cook it really well compared to your other pancakes. and then we drizzle some olive oil around it, and you want this to cook on one side for about 30 seconds till you start seeing the corners getting a little golden. We usually serve them with honey or a maple syrup.
3 of Rupa's pancakes gives you tons of minerals, 376 calories, 21 grams of protein, 68 grams of carbs from all of those beans, 18 grams of fiber also from all of the beans, and 2 grams of fat. I'm Regan and I'm making the honey cashew glazed salmon. So the main ingredients, we have salmon, some honey, garlic, vinegar, some cashews, and some fresh thyme. And I'm just going to go through the recipe and put it all together for you. So the very first thing you need to do is preheat your oven to 375 degrees, which you already have ready to go. Plop your salmon on a aluminum foil lined baking sheet. Then what you're going to want to do to start the glaze is you're going to want to mix 1/4 cup of honey with 1 clove to 2 cloves of garlic, and you want to mince up that garlic. Then we have in here a 1/2 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. We also have 1/2 tablespoon of that white wine vinegar, and then we're going to need about 1/2 tablespoon of fresh thyme leaves. So after you have all the ingredients for the glaze, you just want to whisk this together. It's going to be a little sticky because you have the honey in there. So now our glaze is all mixed up and ready to go, and I'm just going to drizzle this over our salmon here. So now what you want to do is fold up the aluminum foil so that the salmon is covered. You kind of want to pinch the edges. So now I'm just going to add it to the oven for about 13 minutes and let it cook. While the salmon is in the oven, you can make the cashew topping for the fish. So all you do is you take 3 tablespoons of honey, pour it over a skillet that's set at about medium-high. Then you're going to heat up the honey just so it becomes a little more smooth and easier to move around. You're going to toss in 1/2 cup of whole unsalted cashews. I'm going to drop them on an aluminum foil covered baking sheet. Then they go in the oven and bake for about 8 to 9 minutes, just until the cashews have browned and the honey is hardened a little bit. So I've taken the salmon out of the oven. So now I'm going to scoop my piece of salmon. So now we're going to put the cashews on top. And this is our honey cashew glazed salmon submitted by Alec Haugen, which took 3rd place in the Delicious and Nutritious recipe contest. For Alec's honey cashew salmon, 1 pound of salmon had 365 calories, including the toppings, 27 grams of protein, 16 grams of fat, which a lot of that is omega-3 fatty acids, which are very good for your heart, 2 grams of saturated fat, and is also an abundance of vitamins and minerals.